guys, it's 2902 back with you for today's RealFsx Pro Tip. In this video, we'll talk about flying in the pattern. First, we'll go over the different legs of the pattern, and then we'll hop in our Cessna 172 and make it happen. Let's get to it. We're currently taking a look at a pattern diagram. When you fly in the traffic pattern, you'll be making a series of 90-degree turns within a mile of the runway. A standard traffic pattern is flown at 1,000 feet AGL or above ground level and with left-hand turns. A non-standard traffic pattern is also flown at 1,000 feet AGL, but instead has right-hand turns. If we put our Skyhawk graphic in motion, we'll see that we should lift off the runway and climb at approximately 500 feet per minute. This leg of the pattern is known as the departure leg. Wait, what? Isn't that the upwind leg? Actually, no. The upwind leg is parallel to the departure leg, which is why many people get confused. It's the departure leg that you're on when you lift off the runway. When we reach a safe altitude, we'll make our first left-hand turn. Often, you won't reach 1,000 feet AGL, or pattern altitude as it's called, until the downwind leg. If we took off runway 9er, which is heading 090, and we turn left 90 degrees, we'll be heading 360. This is known as the crosswind leg. We'll fly crosswind for just a few moments before we turn our downwind leg. During the downwind leg, we are parallel to the runway we departed from, but heading in the opposite direction. Remember that you always take off and land into the wind. This means that in the downwind leg, we will often have a tailwind pushing us along. A common practice among air traffic controllers is to request that aircraft in the pattern report midfield downwind. Midfield downwind is halfway down the downwind leg. Once we have gotten past midfield with a clearance to either land, touch and go, or for the option, we will wait until we are approximately 45 degrees from the end of the runway before we turn base. Descending all the while, we then time our turn to final so that we line up with the end of the runway. Okay, so we're now in the Skyhawk on runway 20 at the Maui airport, and per the airport directory for Maui, runway 20 is a standard traffic pattern with left-hand turns. If you look at our altimeter right now as we sit on the ground, we are approximately 54 feet MSL. Remembering what we talked about earlier, we'll need to fly 1,000 feet AGL. If you add 1,000 feet to our current altitude, you'll find that our pattern altitude should be around 1,054. Let's round up to 1,100. We're going to slowly open the throttle, and we'll plan to rotate at 55 knots. And we're up! We are now joining the pattern as we climb on the departure leg. We'll shoot for a 500 foot per minute climb rate, and we'll use 600 feet as our safe altitude for our crosswind turn. As we approach 600 feet now, we need to be ready for our coordinated left-hand turn to the crosswind leg. When you subtract 90 from 200, which is our current heading, you find that our crosswind leg should be heading 110. Rolling out on crosswind now, we'll stay here for just a moment before we turn our downwind leg. Now on the downwind, we'll fly this heading until we are approximately 45 degrees off the threshold of the runway, at which point we'll turn our left base. It's time for base now. We'll descend into our left turn here. And now we need to time our turn to final. that's it, guys. Practice your patterns to improve your flying skills. As always, thanks for watching. Use RealFsx pro tips to increase your knowledge on the radio and in the sky. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel. On behalf of RealFsx.org, I'm 299er2. See you next time.